So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Symposium on Inclusive Growth and Development. I am Marcela Escobari. I'm the Executive Director of the Harvard Center for International Development. And we are very excited to be hosting this event today. And I just wanted to share a little bit of the motivation behind it. As you heard yesterday, the issues of poverty and inequality, I think, are the issues of our time. Right, and now they're actually part of our everyday, political discourse. From the Pope to Donald Trump to Larry Summers. I mean, everybody is talking about inequality. I mean, the fact that the 700-page economics volume is a national bestseller means that people are really desperate for answers on this topic. But if we look at the political spectrum for the answers we're hearing, they sometimes get stuck on at the slogan level, right? Is it the 99% versus 1%? Are we going to solve this just with redistribution and taxation? Is it, are markets going to take care of this problem? Is it immigration's fault? Some of these are dangerous. And what we want to do is kind of change the conversation, which is why we're launching this research initiative on inclusive growth. It's to understand at a much more nuanced level and drive change in this intersection of growth and inclusion. And the three organizations that are behind this, I think, bring very different and complementary assets. At CID, we have the analytical engine, and we have been studying the determinants of growth for a really long time. The MasterCard Center for Inclusive Growth is not only supporting this research agenda, but they're bringing data to the equation, which in these academic halls is more valuable than gold. And the World Economic Forum, as the premier convener of the top thinkers, policymakers, and business leaders, can really move to make these ideas actionable. So we're very excited about this partnership. So I just want to give you one slide to show you one example of what this means, or what this could mean, because we're only getting started, of bringing depth and rigor to the discussions and to policy making. And this is just one example of research that Ricardo is doing with one of our fellows, Michele Cosia. And this is the map of, actually it says, does anybody, I was going to have you guess, but this is the map of Bogota, right? And we got data on the first map that shows the productivity of the city at the county level, because we got data from the Chamber of Commerce, who told us the revenues per establishment by employees. So the green areas are the most productive areas in Bogota, and the red, least productive. The second map, we use an algorithm with Google Maps to understand the commuting time for everybody in Bogota to the most productive areas, or at least that center. So we know how long it takes people to get there. And the third map, using mobile data, we can understand what are actually the mobility patterns of people in Bogota, and really that people move within these colored circles. And with that, we're able to create a map of opportunity and inclusion, or the possibilities of opportunity in one city, where the red areas are the areas with least opportunity, because it takes them the longest to get to the productive areas, and the green are the most productive. And you can just imagine how people could use this kind of information. Policymakers could figure out how to create public transportation to get the poor and the people in the periphery to the areas that are most productive, or to bring the most productive jobs to the areas that don't have them. I mean, this is just one example, preliminary research. We haven't even scratched the surface with the data from MasterCard, but we are very excited of what this kind of analysis could bring. And the questions, are, we have some, but there's some that we haven't even thought about yet. So with that, I want to pass it on to how we're going to start our day today, which is we're going to get from our three hosts a much more kind of nuanced framework of how they think about inclusive growth, to frame the ideas that we're going to hear throughout the day. And just to remind you that this is, as I'm saying, the launch of this initiative. So we hope that this day is that we can get your participation and your feedback throughout the day, and that it's really a conversation.